Wednesday, 1st of July 2015. Paper highlights. First, let's look at the paper highlights from Daily Mirror. President Media Unit says Mahinda is not the PM candidate. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party headed by President Maithripala Sirisena is in the process of preparing nomination lists, but no one has been nominated as the Prime Ministerial candidate, the President Media Unit said yesterday. It said that President Maithripala Sirisena, who is also the SLFP chairman, had not agreed to designate a Prime Ministerial candidate. In the event of the UPFA winning the forthcoming general elections, the Prime Minister of the new government would be chosen by the new MPs. The President has not accepted or announced that former President Mahinda Rajapaksa would be the Prime Ministerial candidate, it said. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. If Mahinda can contest, so can I, Chandrika. If former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was given nomination to contest the next general election, former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga would also contest the election, said her private secretary P. Dissanayake in a statement. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. UPFA agrees to nominate MR. The United People's Freedom Alliance has finally agreed to nominate former President Mahinda Rajapaksa as a candidate at the August 17th general election under the beetle symbol, a party leader said yesterday. The UPFA, which is a mix of several political parties and is led by the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, was embroiled in a crisis with one group of MPs urging that Mr. Rajapaksa be nominated as the Prime Ministerial candidate while the other was strongly opposing such a move. More highlights from Daily Mirror. MR to make special announcement today. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa is due to make a special announcement today at 10:30 a.m. from his residence in Medamulana Veerakettiya. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. 20 SLFPers to join UNP. Some 20 Sri Lanka Freedom Party members who represented the party in the previous parliament are likely to join the United National Party and contest the general election under the elephant symbol, a party source said yesterday. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. JVP to go it alone at the election. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna said yesterday it would contest the general election on its own and work hard to garner more votes and a majority in the next parliament. JVP Propaganda Secretary Vijitha Herath told a media briefing that they were finalizing the nominations list for the election and said JVP leader Anurakumara Dissanayake, Politburo member KD Lalkantha and Lakshman Nipunarachi will contest from the Colombo district. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. Nursery education not required for child to enter grade 1. Refuting certain media reports, Education Ministry Secretary Upali Marasinghe said yesterday that 2 years of prior education in a nursery was not required for a child to be admitted to grade 1 of any state schools. More highlights from Daily Mirror. SLFP factions may reach agreement, Prema Jayantha. A final decision will be reached soon on the election campaign of the SLFP-led UPFA, with the two warring factions within the SLFP being on the verge of reaching an agreement on several contentious issues, UPFA General Secretary Susil Prema Jayantha said. Another highlight from Daily Mirror. MR's return to politics, not a worry, Venerable Rattanathera. Venerable Athuraliya Rattanathera, the chairman of the National Council for a Better Tomorrow, said yesterday they would not be worried if former President Mahinda Rajapaksa returned to politics by contesting the general election. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Daily News. Statement issued by President's Media Unit creates confusion within MR camp. MR likely to announce Plan B today. President Sirisena endorses proposal to accommodate MR. MR initially agrees to consider offer to contest under SLFP ticket. A strong sense of uncertainty looms large over the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, with conflicting statements coming from different parties over former President Mahinda Rajapaksa getting nominations from the SLFP to contest the parliamentary election. During the discussion held between President Maithripala Sirisena, SLFP General Secretary Anupriya Darshana Yapa and UPFA General Secretary Susil Prema Jayantha, the President had agreed to give nomination to the former President to contest the election as a normal candidate. He has not given any undertaking on naming him as the Prime Ministerial candidate. Following the meeting with the President, De Silva, Prema Jayantha and Yapa left for Kandy to meet the former President. The meeting was held at former parliamentarian Lohan Ratwata's residence in Kandy. During the meeting, the three SLFP seniors informed Rajapaksa of the agreement reached at the meeting with President Sirisena. The former President responded to this decision favorably and sought more time to arrive at a final decision after having discussions with the UPFA leaders. Another highlight from Daily News. President quoting MR will lead to chaos, Harin. If President Maithripala Sirisena decides that ex-President Mahinda Rajapaksa is wanted, he should be responsible for the chaos that it might be caused in the country, Ua Provincial Council Chief Minister Harin Fernando said. Another highlight from Daily News. Supporter of Thalatha hacked to death. A supporter of Foreign Employment Minister Thalatha Athavan was hacked to death at Koragalla, Nivitigala by a group of unidentified men. The incident occurred on Monday night when DM Tushara Devalagama, a father of 3, was riding his motorcycle on a by road in Koragalla. Another highlight from Daily News. UN to close down Humanitarian Affairs Office in Sri Lanka. The United Nations in downsizing its humanitarian staff in some Asian countries where governments have stepped up with funds and manpower after a decade of massive floods, storms and earthquakes. Another highlight from Daily News. Chandrika to join election fray. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga is to enter the election fray from the Gampaha district if the candidates who were defeated at elections attempt to contest the election. According to the former President's secretary P. Disanayaka, she received a number of requests from the party to contest the election but refused. She firmly believed that the former president will make an announcement about her wish to contest the forthcoming election within the next 2-3 days. More highlights from Daily News. MS Ranil failed to honor people's mandate. JVP. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna yesterday said that its main slogan at the upcoming general election will be fighting corruption and ushering a complete socio-economic transformation in line with the expectations of the people. JVP Propaganda Secretary Vijitha Herath, addressing the media, said the government of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe had failed to honor the mandate they received from the people on January 8 and could not deliver on the promises made. More highlights from Daily News. Treasury bond issue first on new Parliament's order paper. Bandula. Appointing a Parliamentary Select Committee to look into the Treasury bond issue of the Central Bank and other financial irregularities which resulted in the sudden dissolution of Parliament would be first in the agenda of the next Parliament, former MP Bandula Gunawardena said. He was addressing the media at Abeyarama Narahenpitiya yesterday. Gunawardena expressed confidence that the next government will be formed under the leadership of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa on August 17. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Ceylon today. MR's PM candidacy, a pipe dream. The President's media yesterday said that no decision has been taken to nominate former President Mahinda Rajapaksa as the prime ministerial candidate or to even accept him in that capacity. The statement, quoting the SLFP chairman, President Maithripala Sirisena, said that in his capacity as the SLFP leader, he had not agreed to such conditions and the UPFA that would contest with the SLFP is yet to decide on a prime ministerial candidate. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Make Mahinda PM. Inaugural meeting in Anuradhapura on 9th. The inaugural meeting where former President Mahinda Rajapaksa will take to the political stage as the prime ministerial candidate is scheduled to be held on 9th of July at the Salgoda grounds in Anuradhapura. Another highlight from Ceylon today. Anura Kumara to contest from Colombo. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna has named its leader Anura Kumara Disanayaka as the group leader to contest from the Colombo district. We brought you the paper highlights from today's newspapers and we will bring you more tomorrow.